Geordie Journals. We're back. We're in your amazing backyard again.
Amazing, thank you.
Yeah. So there was people in the comments coming on saying, "Oh, we should show the Dom's yard. It's amazing." I was like, "Well, I mean, it's good. It is good."
I mean, you've hyped it up.
I've done a hype job on you, haven't I? It's decent. You've done a good job.
It was good a couple of years ago when it was brand
Fresh.
new.
Yeah. Well, I've put a little tease of another video that we're probably going to record after this as well.
Yes, it's a bit of a double header. So if you're wondering in our next video why we're in the same place, wearing the same clothes, that's why.
Yeah, we're going to do keep, sell, loan, which is something that everyone out in the community's requested. So we're going to do that one, record this straight after this one. But you're interested. There has been some interest. I did a silly little video with a bit of an Eminem track.
I saw that, yeah.
I was getting me bop on a bit. Sandro Tonali.
Yeah.
A little bit of confusion, isn't there? It doesn't seem... It's not actually... I mean, a lot of people out there might think, wait there, confusion. It's not crystal clear, actually. There's been conflicting reports and conflicting suggestions when the player might be available or might not be available. It's minor, but there are suggestions.
It's very minor, really. Yeah. But obviously when you hear the fixtures that got announced the other day on Tuesday, you work out Sandro Tonali's first game back is Tottenham Hotspur at St James's Park on August 31st, I think it is. And if you follow us on the Facebook group, I posted that in the community. I did a story on it, and a lot of replies, including one from yourself, Liam, in a private message, was, no, does he not come back before then?
Yes.
Because his ban ends, according to Newcastle's initial club statement, on August the 27th, 2024, which would allow him to play in the EFL Cup game.
So would that be like the Tuesday, which would allow him to play in any Tuesday or Wednesday night League Cup second round game, which is when it's scheduled?
Yes. But
that's not what the other statements say.
No,
and you've checked.
Anything official, if you look at the FA statement, which is in...
This is the Italian one as well, isn't it?
The FA is based on the Italian statement, yes. I've contacted the FA and that's what they have said. I've tried to contact the Italian FA. I think they're on holiday.
They're watching the Euros.
But yeah, I think the common sense approach was Sandro Tonali's ban was from the initial statement was the 26th of October 2023. So the ban was from the 27th to what you'd imagine in 10 months' time, the 27th of August.
Yeah.
But the actual official documents say 10 months of Sandro Tonali's ban is effective from the 27th of October to the 29th of August, which would rule him out of the Carabao Cup games. So this is just a video more to clarify that, and then I've since had it confirmed by the club that is also their understanding, that it is actually the 29th, not the 27th, unless they are told otherwise between now and then.
A little bit of you know, we do this, we have fun on YouTube, but this is the other side of the game, that we are actually journalists.
Actually looking for answers.
Yeah, we're actually journalists, and we're trying to get clarity.
Confusing situations.
And there was just that. It's a minor point. 2 days, 48 hours doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a minor point that means he either plays against whoever it may be,
Port
Vale or Morecambe away or something like that on a Tuesday night to ease himself in. But actually, if we're to take what the club are now saying, and what,
to their understanding,
what the FA of both definitely the Football Association are saying, that it's actually the 29th of August where he becomes available to play football matches for Newcastle United.
Yes.
So that would mean that game against Tottenham, subject to change on the 31st.
Yeah.
You imagine that'll be a Sky game, so it could well be the
Sunday. Be a great game for Tonali back as well. I mean, whether he starts, comes off the bench, you'd imagine he probably would be on the bench, but introduced that at home, St James's Park against Spurs, historically really good games of football as well.
I've got to say,
it's an ideal setting opposed to, like you say, a potential midweek away at a League Two ground.
Yeah, it's got Sky written all over it, I think. It's got Sky Sunday afternoon kick-off. You know, there'll be the big talk around Tonali and all that kind of stuff. I think that'll be... it's one of the... Since I was a kid, going to St James's Park as a season ticket holder or not, it was one of the first things I looked at on the fixture list was when Newcastle United had Tottenham and West Ham at home, or Aston Villa, games, you know, because they're always like... they're in and amongst you, and they're kind of, they've all to their different extents got soft underbellies. You can get at them, and there's goals and they're good sides as well. Always come to play. So that Tottenham game's always one that's whetted the appetite for me, much more so even than some of the bigger games.
Yeah, I've very much enjoyed watching Newcastle play Tottenham over the last couple of seasons.
At home.
Yes, at home. Yeah.
It's been grim away.
Yeah,
well, the last 3 years, I missed one of the last 3 away games. I was away on holiday with my family, and it was the one we actually won. But the 2 times I've been to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in recent years,
heavy defeats.
It's been awful, and many who go away games have felt the same.
Yeah, but Sandro Tonali, huge season for him, where started against Aston Villa like a house on fire, and then edged out the team by Sean Longstaff, flattered to deceive, and then hit by the ban.
Look, I think it's a big one. I think he's got a lot to prove. I think he needs to come back with fire in his belly and a point to prove, and I'm sure he will. But the jury remains very much out on the player. I think he owes everybody who stood by him. He owes the football club, he owes the manager, he owes his teammates who at times were on their knees last season, because some of it because he was unavailable. He was training with them all the time and was unavailable for games. And look, this isn't, I'm not going to go into the whys and wherefores of addiction and what actually happened. I'm just purely talking about unavailability of a football player, and he signed for this football club to be available and was unavailable. So in some respects, his teammates are owed something by him. I think the crowd is owed something by him. I think his manager, and I think that's what I want to see 100% from Sandro Tonali.
That's not Jordan, by the way.
No, Jordan hasn't morphed into a dog. This is Jessie. She's got her opinions on Sandro Tonali. She definitely wanted to make her presence felt.
Well, actually, I got her about a year ago when Sandro Tonali was linked, and she was nearly called Sandro Tonali.
Nearly called Sandro. Sandro?
But she's a girl, so. So yeah, I think it's a huge season for Sandro Tonali because he's come with a price tag attached, a reputation. He's still young as well. He'll have a point to prove in the Premier League. And Newcastle, you saw last season, like a Bruno. I think Sandro Tonali has the potential, once he finds his groove, to really unlock Bruno's potential as well, as we saw the levels he can reach at times last season.
I think Alexander Isak's going to thrive off somebody like Sandro Tonali, from the little flashes of service, the way that he's able to find passes, he's passing range. Anthony Gordon, imagine him picking out Anthony Gordon in space out on the left hand side. I really think he could be a big player for Newcastle, but we've not yet seen it.
There's a great technical player there,
excellent.
But there are serious sort of question marks where it's hard. Dozen games is hard to judge a player on, but he had probably more average games than he had good games, it's fair to say.
Look, and let's be brutally honest about this, I was really disappointed by him in a few games. The
AC Milan?
AC Milan, I thought he went there and it was like a rabbit in the headlights, being back in his old stadium. I thought he was like a ghost out on that left hand side. Ruben Loftus-Cheek just ran into yards and yards of space. He was nowhere to be seen. I think there was certain other games, I was disappointed with some of his actions against Brighton away. I was disappointed Wolves away, some of his actions. West Ham. He had a great game at home against Liverpool. He was brilliant against Aston Villa. But there was more question marks than answers, I felt, from that brief encounter that we had with Sandro Tonali. But there was zero doubt in there that he's a very, like you said, a very technically gifted footballer. And I think we should maybe less dwell on those negatives, because a young lad,
new country,
new style of play. Italian football doesn't always necessarily lend itself to English football. They don't connect. It is a more technical, slower game. So maybe training and being around isn't the same as playing, but hopefully he's got up to the physical attributes of the game. I think we need to see a little bit more of that from him. And fingers crossed, he translates that and hits the ground. He has to hit the ground running as a plane flies over here.
It's hard to hit the ground running though when you haven't played any football for 10 months.
Yeah, it is.
I was going to say, as you would know, but no, but like anyone who hasn't played football for a long time knows it is hard to find your groove.
Were you referring to my 12-year absence from football?
Yes.
I did my knee. Actually, did my knee. Nobody, they might not know this.
Yeah.
I did my knee when I was about 21. Had a reconstructive surgery and then didn't play football again for 12 years until I started playing regular with you guys.
And look at him now, scoring at St James's Park.
I know. I could never have dreamt that, ever. I never talk about it though.
That's a comeback story.
This is redemption. Considering I made a dafty myself the year before as well.
Yeah. But we don't talk.
No, we don't talk about that either.
But yeah, I think Sandro Tonali, there may need to be an element of patience required with Sandro Tonali, where he does get eased back into it to a degree, because ultimately he hasn't played football for the best part of a year. But I think he will be better for training with the lads, knowing the language. He has stayed here for the most part, other than when he's had to return to Italy for obviously the courses and talks he's had to do. But yeah, I think he's a lot more settled now than he probably was when he first came on the scene, where he's spoken about it publicly. He did actually struggle to settle initially.
His other half, mingling around Gosforth, she seems to really ingratiate herself.
Might see her if you...
Yeah, not far from here. Yeah. Sort of really got stuck into the culture and seems to be quite keen to get involved in everything around her. So that helps. It helps when the other half's happy.
Yes.
And hopefully he can hit the ground running and takes the English football to the level that we know when we can perform, because he's an international footballer. He's played for AC Milan up to the Champions League semi-final. They didn't want to lose him. So I think I think there's a lot to like. But the Geordie Journal's information on this video is, just to reiterate, it doesn't look like, as things stand, the current understanding from the football club and from the FA, the Football Association, is he will not be available to play in the Carabao Cup.
Yes, that's as it understands, but there was a sense of some lack of clarity to it, where it's like, this is the date we're working on, this is the official date. The FA have said, the Italian FA have said, this is the date we're working on, unless we're told otherwise. So you have to base it on that, don't you?
We do. And more as we get it, then. If we do get any information,
it could be a follow-up. But yeah, Sandro Tonali, return date 29th of August, which gives his first game back at St James's Park to Tottenham Hotspur, which I say 31st of August, but like you say, it could be moved for the television.
Right.
Wrap it up there with a word from our sponsors, Liam.
Yes. Four Rivers Financial Planning, as you'll know by now, regular watchers of the Geordie Journals, in one of the corners here and in the bio below, you'll be able to find all the details that you need for Four Rivers Financial Planning. If you've got any investment or questions about your pension, they'll be the guys to help and provide the proud sponsors of Geordie Journal's long form. Oh, this is a little bit shorter, this one. Long form video. And yet, do click the link or drop them an email in the details below this video. Right. Anything else to add, or is that us for today?
Yeah, I think
we do have to tease the second video again. Remind everyone of that one.
Keep, sell, loan, Newcastle United squad. It'll be a long video, I'd imagine.
But there's a few nuggets in there that might just keep people interested. There was a couple of little disagreements that we had. I
haven't filmed it yet. We've talked about it.
Yeah. I know what I'm saying. I'm just teasing.
Okay.
We've talked off air about this, and we've talked about. There's a couple that I'm like, nah, and you're like, go.
No, I think there's some players Newcastle have to sell, which you're being overly sentimental about.
And on that note, like, comment, share, subscribe for all your Geordie Journals content, and do watch out for that Keep, Sell, Loan video, which will be on the way this weekend.